So as a Christmas present, I bought myself what is it called again? The the Medicube the Medicube Booster Pro. I always get confused between the Booster Pro and the Age R Booster Pro because they are different. It was a Christmas present to myself because uh one of the most expensive Christmas presents to myself ever. So this is how I use my device. I love that it's pink. I purposely chose that it has to be pink. So take off the cap that it actually it didn't come with this cap, but when I bought it in the shop, she gave it to me as an extra little gift, which is why I think it was worthwhile buying it in Korea instead of somewhere else if you can. I've already sanitized this so it's clean and I have washed my face. I have put toner on my face, so now I'm going to go for air shot mode. So first you turn it on with the on button. Booster mode, level 1. So it starts on booster mode. So to change it to air shot mode. Microcurrent mode, level 1. Derma shot mode, level 1. Air shot mode, level 1. Air shot mode. And I've kept it at level 1. I have not moved it up to level 2, and I've been using this for about I've been using this for 4 months, so only on the 4th month now I am changing it to level 2 because I was scared. So I'm going to start with airshot mode. On some of the videos they show that they're doing it this way, but when I did that my skin kind of had a reaction and it was weird, like painful. So I'm doing what other people do, which is they say put it on the side like this. And I have a lot of spots and acne at the moment on my chin, but it doesn't affect it, it doesn't hurt. It feels slightly tingly, a little bit like very, very, very low level laser hair removal. If you've ever done that, you can kind of feel it in the hairs. And I still have the instructions because I still forget what order to do and exactly what to do, so I kept these. And it says that airshot mode recommended only 2 or 3 times a week. Because I only do this once a week, I always do airshot mode when I use this. And it says airshot mode. Oh, it doesn't say the purpose of it. 1 minute pass. But I'll get into that later. So it tells you 1 minute pass. So you don't need to check the time. And the light doesn't necessarily hurt my eyes, but I just kind of prefer when it gets close to the eyes to close my eyes. Go down my nose. I like to do it up my nose like this. And when I take it off my skin, so sometimes mine keeps going. Aha, that's what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to stop when you take it off your skin, when it loses contact. I'm going to do my neck too. People forget to do skincare on their neck, and so they end up in the later years having a wrinkly neck and a lovely face. I heard recently from someone using this that you're supposed to avoid the middle of your neck, so I started avoiding that and kind of just do it on the side. But with the airshot mode, sometimes it doesn't really work in certain parts of my neck. See, like it kind of stopped. Yeah. Stopped again. I need to face it a little bit more in when it stops. 2 minutes. And I don't always do 5 minutes for each mode, but I want to put extra effort into using this, so I mean, I did pay for it. I paid, so oh yeah, it was a hefty price. So I should use everything for 5 minutes, especially if I'm only doing it once a week. Should really take the time. And it says here how much time has passed. And when you take it off your face, the time pauses. So it's truly telling you how much time is passing when you're actually using it on your face. I like to do a little bit under. Aha! So it said session complete. So at 5 minutes, it just shuts off automatically for safety. So next I'm going to, oh, it turned off on me. Okay, well that's okay, because next I'm gonna get into the more fun modes. The whole like point of buying this was I saw, what's her name, married to Justin Bieber? That woman and Khloe Kardashian using this on their face, and they were like, you know, doing the whole moment with it.
You just go in a circular motion. It puts in the product 7 times more into your skin, your pores, all that. That was only 5 minutes.
So next, because it has it kind of in order, so I did airshot mode. So the next mode I'm going to do, I always follow it in this order, is Radiance Booster mode. So it says apply an appropriate amount of skincare product and attach the head to the skin. Roll gently in a circular motion to allow the product to be absorbed. 1 to 3 times daily. Daily, wow. Me, only once a week, and 5 to 10 minutes per session. So, one of the fabulous things about buying this in Korea in the Medicube shop was all the free or discounted things I got with this. So they gave me the option when I bought it of, I got the head, the cap for free, and then I got some sheet masks, Medicube sheet masks for free. I got a serum for free, which I don't have, and I got this also for free. So this is the Medicube collagen jelly cream. I think I got it for free. If I didn't get it for free, it would have been part of a deal. Oh, if you spend this much extra, you get 5 items for much cheaper than they really cost. So I always use this collagen jelly cream when I use my device. But first, I like to layer it with my Junshemur, this essential Moor cream. This is such a beautiful, thick serum. Oh, I'll put it on my face. That didn't go as planned. This is just such a beautiful hydrating serum that I use every day. I don't know if I've spoken about this before. I love this. This is like one of my favorite creams. Everyday cream. It's light, but it's so moisturizing. I don't know if you can see right now the glow. Well, you're gonna see the glow. Why? Why is it doing that? So I put it here. And the back of your neck. I always do the back of my neck too. And my earlobes sometimes. Because I have dry earlobes. I'm not the only one. So sometimes I would just put this on and I will do the booster. But because I want to give you the full effect today, I'm going to then put on top the Medicube collagen jelly cream. So I put loads of this on when I'm using this because it tends to kind of dry into the skin when you use the device. And I also noticed that if you don't use enough of this, sometimes my skin, it didn't hurt when I used this, but it was a little bit uncomfortable. So it's important to use this. You're not supposed to just use booster mode or any of the other modes without some product on your skin. Glowing already. And I love that this is pink too. I just love that everything is pink. And even because it's kind of like gone down onto my lips, it's sort of moisturizing my lips too. Not supposed to, but you know. Okay, booster mode. So I'm going to turn it back on because it turned off on me. Booster mode. So I'm gonna move it from level 1 to level 2. And I have been using level 1 for 4 months. I've only recently moved up to level 2. So I'm gonna start on my chin. And do circular motions for about 5 minutes. How does it feel? It's tingly. I'll give you that. If I put it here, I prefer to close my eye, it's tingly. It's a bit like tiny, tiny electric currents. When I first used it, it was strange and I was kind of scared because there was all this news about that girl who got cerebral palsy from using this.
You can tell the state of my face. I am paralyzed on this side of my face. That is called Palsy. That can be triggered by multiple different reasons. I'm just so fucking sick and tired of seeing this stupid Medicube Pro boosted device being promoted on TikTok and tons of people buying it, and this is the result of what happened to me after 2 days of using it.
So I was a bit nervous using this. Like the sensation was kind of scaring me, but I kind of got used to it, but I'm still very cautious. So I put it this close to my eye. I don't want to put it any closer. And I can use it over my acne and there's no problem. One thing that's strange about this is when I use it up here on my forehead, I feel a sensation here on my forehead, but I also feel it here on my head. And that kind of made me nervous. Oh, especially here. I'm using it here, but I'm feeling it here on my head, if that makes sense. And I wondered to myself, is that normal? Is it supposed to do that? But I think it's kind of like our face and our head, our scalp are connected. That's why if you want hair growth, you're supposed to massage your scalp and kind of massage your face and your neck, like everything in our body is connected. I also like to use it here under my nose again. So I kind of just ignored that, but then I noticed after using this device, I started getting a lot of 2 minutes. I started getting a lot of grey hairs, but then I wondered, is it just a coincidence and it's nothing to do with this, that I'm just naturally getting grey hairs early? Or is it related to this? So I started looking into, can you get grey hairs from using this device? And what was the answer? I think somewhere they were saying, yeah, some skincare devices can cause grey hair, but I kind of just ignored it. I kind of thought, it's probably just a coincidence. I like to put it under here, my chin. I like to imagine it kind of like sucks up a little bit of my chin. But I don't know that.
3 minutes passed.
The more I use...
4 minutes passed.
4 minutes. 1 more minute. The more I use this and tell you about the little things that have happened, it's making me kind of wonder, are the things people are saying about this true? Is it actually bad for you? Okay, I'm impatient, and it's 30 seconds until 5 minutes, so I'm going to change the mode. The mood? No, I'm going to change the mode. Microcurrent mode, level 1. So microcurrent mode, apply an appropriate amount of skincare product and attach the head to the skin. Used by moving from the inside of the face to the outside while keeping the head attached. 1 to 3 times daily, 5-10 minutes per session. So I already have enough skincare still on. If I touch my skin, it's still really moist from the collagen jelly creams. I don't put on more skincare between the modes. Level 1, I'm going to change it to level 2. So I'll start from the middle of my face, go to the outside. So I start from my chin and I go up. Start from there and go up. Start from there and go up. Right now, I don't really feel much of a sensation. I don't know if I just got really used to this. Kind of just depends where in your face you use it. Okay, so it's only been 3 minutes, but I'm bored and want to go on to the next mode. So, next one and last one.
Derma shot mode.
Derma shot mode. Level 1. Let's go to level 2.
Level 2.
Use this on level 1 for 4 months, so now I'm moving to level 2. For Derma shot mode, this one, in my opinion, is the most intense. You can really feel it working. It's apply an appropriate amount of skincare product and move slowly across the skin. Pause for 2 seconds at muscle points to relax the muscles. 1 to 3 times daily, 5 or 10 minutes per session. Yeah, if you know anything about Dermashot, so not this one type, but the usual type is where they get derma rolling is like the small needles that they put into your skin. So this feels a little bit like a tiny needle pricking your skin, but not that intense. I think if you haven't used this before, you're watching people online trying this and it looks painful and it looks intense. And maybe the first time the lady in the shop tried it on my skin, I was like, ooh. But then you get used to it quite quickly. Oh, okay. Right there. That feels strange. I need to close my eye. 1, 2. Okay. I spoke too soon. And that could be maybe why some people put the level too high straight away, and maybe they use it too much, so people are having problems. I'm not trying to blame people for this device. I did see on Reddit before I bought it, there was someone who looked into the details of this and they said there's going to be problems with this. From a science point of view, there was something that was like, they believed they shouldn't be selling people this product. And it was before this like truly took off and it was kind of new. So I think there can be truth in both, which is why I'm trying to be very careful. Like, it took me 4 months to move up to level 2. Ooh, that feels strange. That feels like there's like a tiny needle going inside my nostril. But not really, not actually like a tiny needle, otherwise I'd be screaming in pain. But that's like the best description of the sensation that I can give you. Ooh, look at that. My neck's like spasming. I focus a lot on this part of my face because I have very beautiful smile lines. I don't want to get rid of them, but I want to lessen them.
Session complete.
Okay. Now it is done. So might as well turn it off. Okay, that took its time. And I'm gonna put some hand sanitizer on this. Put the cap back on. So I looked it up. It wasn't cerebral palsy that gave that woman. It was Bell's palsy. So according to a lady on TikTok, she said that after using the device that she developed Bell's palsy, and that she said she only used it for 2 days. And then there was another woman who started to notice her eye bulging and effects on her face after using it, so she stopped using it.
There will be no update on this device. I'm currently packing it up and sending it back. It is 12:30 in the morning. Just got back from the ER. This device caused so much nerve inflammation in my face that my eyelid started drooping, my pupil was dilated, I was having a hard time seeing, there's pressure on my face. The nurse at urgent care thought I was having a brain aneurysm and sent me to the ER.
And this is a huge thing about Korean cosmetics industry, Korea as a whole, that I think is overlooked so much. There is this big wow when it comes to South Korea because there's so much shininess around South Korea. You know, when we think of Korea, we think of high-tech industries, technology, and we think about cosmetic innovation and science. And while I adore Korean skincare, I trust Korean skincare a lot, there is a massive component missing that many people ignore about South Korea, and it is the history and culture. So after the Korean War in the 50s, South Korea was one of the poorest countries in the entire world. And what Korea did to get to where it is now, of such a high economy, these worldwide famous brands like Samsung, LG, cosmetics, the whole Korean wave of K-pop and K-dramas. It truly is called Miracle on the Han River. The Han River is the river in Seoul, where if you look at pictures of what it used to be to how it is now, a megalopolis city. Megalopolis? Megatropolis? I'll look that up. It truly is called a miracle. But how I always describe Korea is that it's a country that has a hangover from once being a poor country. So the young Korean people really care about South Korea being clean, following health and safety and regulations, and there's red tape. But then this is completely in conflict with the elderly generation. The elderly generation grew up at a time when their number one goal was to put food on the table and just to survive. And as we know from countries that the goal is to put food on the table and survive, health and safety is not a priority, and there isn't a lot of red tape. So because many CEOs of big Korean companies are elderly men, I've noticed there tends to be this thing of ignoring health and safety and red tape to quickly make money or quickly get a result. So when I saw the controversy around the Medicube Booster Pro device, this one here, about those two girls saying that it affected them, and then Medicube came out with a statement, but the statement was a little bit suspicious because it was along the lines of, our device did not cause Bell's palsy. And you could say, okay, it's just a language barrier, that they don't know that when a company is writing a statement, that language is unusual and sounds a little bit too casual. And usually a statement will say, there is no correlation between this and this. And but they just said, no, they're not connected. Not at all. They just like, no. The answer is no. There wasn't even any sign of, oh, well, we'll check it again, we'll see. And it reminds me of other things that have happened. Remember the Korean Purito SPF sun cream scandal, where a lot of Korean sunscreens didn't have as much SPF in them as they said? Remember when there was the I'm green, I'm eco-friendly bottle by Innisfree, and it was made completely out of plastic inside? Even massive companies like Samsung, there was a documentary made about employees who worked there who developed cancer from a lack of health and safety, and their families tried to go after Samsung and claimed that it was because it was Samsung's negligence, and Samsung just kind of shut it down and shut them out.
여기에 그 사람들이 한 4, 50명 이렇게 쭉 그 줄을 지어 서 있었어요. 그 이거를 뿌리는데 내가 아주 너무 억울해갖고 아주 눈에서 아주 눈물이 막 내려 흘렀었어요. 그래서 그 유골을 뿌리면서 우리 그 유미 엄마랑 유미 누나랑 유미 동생이랑 같이 이제 유골을 자꾸 이렇게 쭉 뿌렸어요. 쭉 이제 여기 이제 가면서 이쪽으로 이렇게 쭉 이 앞으로 이렇게 왔는데 아주 그 사람들을 보는 순간에 아주 너무 억울해갖고 아주 눈물이 아주 막 내려 흐르는 거예요. 얼마나 화가 나가지고 너무 억울해가지고. 그래서 그 유골을 가지고 이 삼성 반도체 공장에서 온 사람들한테 얼굴에다 확 뿌리고 싶었는데 그 사람들이 벌써 눈치채고 뒷걸음질 슬금슬금 하면서 벌써 저 주변에 이렇게 나가더라고요.
And I'm not saying, oh my god, this only happens in South Korea. No, of course not. There's every country in the world, there's companies that try to cut corners to make a profit and try to hide issues to save face. But I think the biggest problem that I always see is there's many non-Koreans and non-Asians that just put South Korea up on this pedestal, and it's this whole halo effect of what? A Korean company having an issue? I thought Korean cosmetics were so high tech and so much health and safety and so much science. There's no way that a Korean product would have an issue. They care about those things. Many foreigners just kind of ignore that, and they ignore how the history of Korea still affects Korea today, and that there's such a drastic difference between the elderly people in Korea and the young people in Korea. They're living in two extremely different Koreas. Absolutely unrelated, but worth mentioning. This whole lack of health and safety and hangover from once being a poor country, as I put it, is one of the reasons why I adore Korea. I really, really love that there's this whole kind of energy in Korea where there's a lot of people doing things they're not supposed to be doing because it's kind of just like, whatever, we'll just do it. For example, you get on the bus and it's like being on a roller coaster. They are not following the rules of the road, and they are just speeding, like Need for Speed, down that road. That's very exciting. It's quite exciting until you get into an actual crash, and then it kind of hits you of, oh, this is not so safe. Bending of rules is one of the reasons why I love Korea so much. It's not, in my opinion, a rigid country or a rigid culture. So it has a lot of positive parts too. Another example is you walk past a construction site and it's very, very interesting. Try to spot protective eye gear, protective headgear, even gloves. I've walked past construction sites and they've had no barriers around them, as in they've been just on the path and there's been people walking past and they've been welding something and all of the sparks are flying up and the old man has no goggles on him, he's smoking a cigarette, and there's just people going past, and I think to myself, oh, if I'm too close to that, a spark could go in my eye and could blind me. But it's kind of just that fun of Korea, of like, like, this isn't really health and safety, but like, the building will get built. When it comes to the Medicube Booster Pro that I'm reviewing today, it didn't shock me at all when I saw those claims by just the two girls I saw online. But at the same time, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with this device, because exactly like what those two ladies said, they didn't say it's because of this device. It could have been random. Like, they have no evidence, they have no proof to say that it's this device. But they just wanted to make the video to warn people in case someone else had problems, and then you could look into it and say, oh, maybe it's this device. Would I recommend buying this? I wouldn't recommend not buying it. I haven't had any problems with this. But of course, as you know, I'm using this in such a bizarre way because I'm only using it once a week, and I haven't seen any negative results, but I haven't seen any clear positive results. I bought it because I just wanted to treat myself, and I'm going to continue using it because it probably is doing something good. A little bit like I use skincare and I don't see the differences, but then I see someone I haven't seen in a while and they say, oh, your skin's looking good. I think it's a combination of everything we do that affects your skin. Should you buy this though? That's up to you. Also to mention, there are ways to get this way cheaper because it's it's like rent money. It's like selling an organ money. There are sometimes online, they're doing deals, there's certain kind of vouchers and discounts you can get. And then because I bought it in Korea, I feel like I got it cheaper because I bought it there in the country, and all the perks of all the either discounted or free serums, sheet masks, this kind of lid and stuff like that, I feel like it made a difference. Like I was buying this, but I was getting so much with it. I'm interested to know if you've used this too, what your opinion is of it. What's your opinion about the controversy around this and Medicube? But most importantly, I'm really interested in the thought piece I talked about. Have you lived in Korea? Are you living in Korea? What's your whole opinion about Korea being a country that still has, in my words, a hangover from being a poor country?